So there's a little known fact that when you're thirsty, um, any price any price that you're willing to pay to quench that thirst, you will pay it, because you know your thirst will be quenched. Like, for example, have you ever been in the park where it's just 100 degrees out and there's no water around? I mean, you have the water fountain, but that water isn't as cold as you would like, and so I mean, you sip that water, but it doesn't fill you. It doesn't quench your thirst. And so when you go to the store and you buy a bottle of water and it's a big amount of price, but for you, you're just like, to me, price doesn't matter because I'm thirsty. And that happened to me the other day. I was out somewhere and it was just extremely hot, and I was just thirsty. I didn't have nothing to drink almost all day. And so as I'm out there in the heat, I'm just like, oh man, I'm so thirsty. And so right around the corner there was a stand that was selling drinks and selling waters, Gatorades, everything like that. And so I asked the guy how much the water was, and he told me the price. And I'm like, ugh. But you know what? To me, it didn't matter because I was so thirsty. And I'm like, I am willing for my thirst to go away. So that's why the price to me, it just didn't matter. And I realized that that's, and in the spiritual sense, right? Because a lot of times we look at things in the physical, and sometimes we also look at things in the spiritual as well. So I looked at that, and I said, that's how we are with God. Because a lot of times we get to the point where we say, God, I'm just so thirsty for you. I'm thirsty for you. I'm thirsty for you. And a lot of times we just leave it at that and go on about our business. But if we actually take time to say, you know what, God, I'm thirsty for you. I long for you. And a lot of times you have to really ask, what price are you willing to pay just so you can actually get closer to God? What price are you willing to pay just so that you can be near to God? And when you, as it says in the Bible, that as long as you're connected to the vine, you will have that connection. And a lot of times being connected to that vine, it means that you are praying, you are in constant fellowship with God, you're in constant communion with God, and that it's you and Him. Like, it's you and Him and nobody else. And a lot of times you gotta really ask yourself, what price am I willing to pay so that I can be near to God? What price am I willing to sacrifice so that I can draw near to God? A lot of times we need to sacrifice something. We need to let go of something in order just to reach God, in order just to be with God. And a lot of times we're always rushing. We're like, it doesn't matter. We're rushing. We live in a day and age where everything is a fast pace. And there's times where we just need to slow it down. As it says in Spanish, tranquilo, take your time, relax, be calm, but if you are thirsty for God, I would say just take your time in the Word. Bring out scriptures that that will be beneficial to you, that will help you to grow, that will help you to be disciplined, that will help you just to be motivated for God, because it is a tough time now, because a lot of people, you talk about the end times and stuff like that, but my thing is, if it's really the end times, then why aren't we doing anything that will benefit us to go to heaven? But anyway, that's them. So yeah. So once again, if you're thirsty for God, take the time out for God. Take the time out to sacrifice something and say, you know what, God, it's all about me and you. It's nothing else. Shut off your phone. shut off the internet. Just take 5 minutes and just be with God. Just you and Him, you know. Nobody else, just you and God. So that's it. Talk to you soon.